If you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, or any of the surrounding suburbs, this is the place for you. On this channel, we cover new construction, how much it would cost you to make a move to Charlotte, North Carolina, and all things Charlotte related. If that sounds interesting to you, please like, comment, and subscribe to the video, and share it with a friend so we can help them make their move to Charlotte. In today's video, we're going to be going over Rock Hill, South Carolina. In the past couple years, the economy down there has been booming and people have been flocking there from all over the country. So we're going to go over how much it will cost you to move to Rock Hill, South Carolina, some things to do if you decide to move there, and a general map overview so you can see where it is in relation to Charlotte, North Carolina. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so if you've seen my videos in the past, you know I like to start off with showing the housing numbers and how much it would cost you to move there, some recent price activity, and some recently sold houses as well. So let's jump into that. So the first number I want to go over here is median sale price, and that is $325,000, up 15% year over year. And you can see from this graph here that it has been a up and down trend, but mostly going upward with slight dips. The highest it was recently was November of 23 at $340,000. And then the lowest point recently was back in January a few months ago at $304,500. But as you can see that now that the springtime market is coming, you can see that it is tracking back upwards now, and it's about $325,000. And I would expect that to go up slightly now that we're going into the spring and summer season. So if you're looking to buy, give us a call, text, or email, and we can see what we can get you in for now before they really skyrocket when the summertime hits. The next number I want to go over here is number of homes sold, and you can see that's 78 and down 11.4% year over year. And recently you can see it did drop pretty low back in January of 23 at just 53, but ever since then it's been creeping back up. And in fact, this last January of 24 was at 74, which was higher than the previous January, which that is a positive sign. However, I do believe that a lot of people have slowed down listing their houses on the market and buying homes until those interest rates drop a little bit more than what they are currently. As of the day I'm recording this, March 25th, 2024, interest rates are around 6.9%, and they've been hovering between 6.8 and 7.1% for about 6 months or so now. The Fed did say they were going to try and drop those rates a couple times this year. So far they haven't. We are looking forward to June and hoping that that does come to fruition, but it's still up in the air. But don't let that deter you. If you're looking for a house now, it might be a great time to buy because those housing prices haven't skyrocketed yet. Because once they do lower their prices and more houses come on the market and people start buying them up with those low interest rates, supply and demand kicks into effect and those housing prices will go up. You will get a better rate, but those housing prices will start to climb pretty steadily. The next number I want to go over here is median days on market, and you can see it sits at 46 days right now. And you can see in the winter season, November, December, and January are the highest times when it sits on market, which got up to about 57 days. And now that we're going into the spring season, it is dropping currently at 46, and I do expect that to go down a little bit more. However, I don't believe it will drop below 30, but it does mean that you'll have to make a little bit faster decisions in the spring and summer market. If you find a house that you fall in love with, you might want to put an offer in on it quickly because they do go a little bit faster during this time. All right, and to keep going on with our numbers here, the next one we're going to go over is sale to list price. And this simply means whatever you list your house at, are you getting what you asked for? So right now we currently sit at 98%. So typically homeowners are still putting their prices slightly above average about where they should, and they're actually having to come down and go a little bit lower than they would have liked. They're still getting about 98% of their current list price. And you can see over that time, we haven't hit 100% since June of last year, and we are coming back up to that season again. So I expect these numbers to rise slightly, get right back up to 100%. But as of right now, we're just about 98%. Now we're going to go over homes sold above list price, which was 17.9%. Kind of correlates with the last one here. However, this one is 2 points higher from the previous year. And you can see this number does fluctuate. It does come up in the spring like usual, and right now we're kind of in a downward trend. But I do believe that next month in February and going further on after February, we're going to see this number spike up a little bit, just like previous years, but nothing too crazy, just a normal rotation year to year. And the last number here is home with price drops at 26%, which is actually 5 points higher as well. And you can see this one's kind of spiky. In October, it was a little bit higher. Not too many price decreases in December. Then in January, people wanted to get some homes sold, and now it's dropping again. I do expect that to drop a little bit more going into the spring season if people price appropriately, and they don't want to actually have to lower that. And the competition in the spring and summer is way more fierce than in the winter. And I wanted to let you know this site is just redfin.com. You can get all this information for any city that you live in across America right on Redfin. And I wanted to draw your attention to the upper left-hand corner. This shows you the competitiveness of the market, and this is actually 55. So it's slightly above the average for competitiveness in certain markets. Now it depends on which neighborhood you're going to be looking in, but this is not that bad of a score, so you can actually be competitive and find the house that you're looking for in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And if you've seen my videos before, you know I like this next stat here. It's just kind of fun. It's actually showing where people are coming from and going to when they leave the Charlotte area. And you can see on the left side here the inbound people into the Queen City, and typically these stay the same. I haven't seen too much fluctuation. The top ones are always New York, Washington, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco, and you can see the rest of them here round out the top 10. A lot of these are bigger cities with higher taxes. You know, it costs more to live in these areas. So if you actually sell your house and then move to Charlotte, North Carolina, you can make a nice net profit if you do that. And on the right side here, you can see the outbound areas that people are going to. The top one here is Myrtle Beach. People love going to the beach there. And then Asheville, that's actually more of the mountains. And you can see the rest of the top 10 list. A lot of them are actually still in South Carolina and North Carolina. The first one you see here where they're going out of state is actually Jacksonville, Florida. And that's probably, I'm thinking, mostly for like the beach area or just that great Sunshine State. Next, we're going to briefly go over some of the recently sold houses to see what kind of house you could be looking at and then the price point that goes with that. So you can see this first one here was $600,000, 5 bed, 3.5 bath, 3,700 square feet. So a pretty big house there. They got exactly what they were asking for at list price, and it took 57 days for that to sell. Alright, so the second one here is a little bit more reasonably priced. List price was $300,000, and they actually got $305,000 for a 3 bed, 2 bath, almost 1,300 square feet. So they got a little bit over list price, and it took 41 days. This next one here was listed at $359,900. It went slightly under at $357,000 even, with 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet, and it was on the market for 142 days. And we'll look at one more here. This one was listed at $394,900. They got exactly what they were asking for with a 3 bed, 2 bath, almost 1,900 square feet, and it did take 80 days on the market to sell. You can see if it's priced appropriately, it might take a month or two to sell the house depending on the location and the house itself, but you actually get close to what you're asking for. You might just have to come up or down a little bit to sell or buy that house depending on what you're looking to do. Next up on the list here is schools. We don't go over that too much. You can see on the screen here a list of a couple different schools in the Rock Hill area. My wife did, however, make a video on this not too long ago, and I will share that up in the upper right hand corner of the screen. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click on that and watch the video. Or reach out to us and we can send you some resources and some websites that will help you make an informed decision about where and what kind of schools you can choose for your kids. All right, the next thing we're going to go over here is the weather in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So you can see the weather here is really only cold for the end of December going into January and slightly into February, and then it turns like cool, then mild, warm, and hot. For the most part, between December and February, you will need like jackets in the morning or hoodies. Nothing super crazy. It does get chilly. It will get into the 20s sometimes. Wind chills are rarely in the teens. Sometimes they do. And we do get frost down here in the winter as well. So the only time you're actually going to kind of be in your house where you actually don't want to go outside is going to be July and August, about 2 months out of the year, where your AC is going to be running almost nonstop because it is warm in the morning and at night. However, most people around here just either wake up really early and get their chores done outside or enjoy their nice walk in the mornings. Or if you wait till dusk, you can also do that as well. When the sun is setting, you can get your outdoor activities done where you want to go for a walk or ride a bike or any lawn care that you need to do, like cutting the grass or trimming the bushes. You kind of wait until those hours, but that's perfectly fine because the rest of the year you're pretty comfortable and you can enjoy the outdoors almost all year round. Alright, so that was all the stats and weather related to Rock Hill, South Carolina, and now we're going to go over a little bit of what you can actually do if you decide to visit or move to the Rock Hill, South Carolina area. And I actually just went to this website, TripAdvisor, where they can show you some activities that you can do when you're there. Alright, so like I said, this is actually tripadvisor.com, and I'm going to slowly scroll down here and just talk about a few of them as I go through here. Fountain Park is a very big one. People actually love that area. The amphitheater is also very attractive. They actually have bands that come in there in the spring and summer, so that's fun to take in as well. And I know a lot of kids do love this BMX Supercross track. This is actually fantastic if you have young ones that like to, bike and do that kind of extreme stuff. This is actually really cool. But it just doesn't stop there. There's just so much that you can do in the Rock Hill area. And not too far away is actually Carowinds. So if you and your family enjoy an amusement park with tons of rides and games, that's a fantastic thing to do, where you can buy the annual pass or just a one-time pass if you want to give it a test go. But it is a fantastic spot. Me and my family go there. We have the yearly passes and we go there quite often. And the last thing I want to go over here in this video is the map location to see where you are with Rock Hill in relation to Charlotte, just in case you have to make that commute or any other surrounding areas. Alright, so you can see right down here in the dotted lines, this is actually Rock Hill, South Carolina. And you would just take 77 all the way up into Charlotte if you did work in this area. And then this is also the 485 loop, which goes all the way around the Charlotte area. So in case you needed to get on that to go either to the west or over to the east, you don't have to take 77 all the way to Charlotte. You can also see the dotted line here of the border is right on this line here. And you're very close to Antigua Cay and Lake Wylie, so if you love the lake life, that's right here. And it's not too far from Fort Mill, which also has a lot of jobs and new construction areas over here as well. So you're not too far from that either. Alright, and that's all I got for today's episode featuring Rock Hill, South Carolina. If you found value in this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with a friend if they're thinking about moving to Charlotte or any of the surrounding areas. And don't forget to reach out. You can leave a comment, send an email, a text, a phone call, and we actually have a Zoom link down below too, where you can schedule a one-on-one with us so we can discuss options for you about moving to the Charlotte area. That's all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.